I've been part of the cracking scene, and I did a bit of everything, but I wasn't really good at anything special. So I had my childhood heroes, and one of the cracking groups I really appreciated in Europe, first was iCarry, and in Germany there was Strike Force, and then there was 7-Eleven. So that's a group I personally looked up to, and fortunately I bumped into Walter Conrad a few months ago on Facebook, connected with him, and so I just asked him the question, why don't you come to the X party once? And so he is now here at the X24, and I'm really glad to have him here. I then asked him, once you take part in the X, why don't we have an interview with you? I'm actually the leader of the cheerleader club in Switzerland from 7-Eleven. And that was a convincing argument for Walter to actually make himself available for this interview. I thought we need to have somebody on eye level to have leading the interview, so I reached out to Pontus, to Bacchus, and I asked him, are you in as well for this great event? And he said, of course I am. And so that was my sidekick, and I would really like to hand over now to Bacchus and to Walter for the next couple of minutes.
Thank you so much, Thomas. And I only said yes to this interview, so I can ask Thomas 2 questions. Thomas, I need to ask you 2 questions. Are you really here, or is it just an illusion? Oh, okay. Well, I do have an additional question as well.
Okay.
Did you actually write the script for that, or did you just freestyle?
Thank you. As I said, I'm not really good at... I do a lot of things, but I don't really have any special talent, so I hand over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. So we've already been properly introduced, but humble thanks to Walter. We share interests. We share interest in C64s, but our main interest is also the same. We share a passion for bacon. So every time Walter sees something related to bacon on Facebook, he tags me, and I'm doing him the same credit. So
that goes on for years now.
Great. So let's do the first, like, school book, the CV kind of things. You've been known as Walter for most of your career, so you basically took your own personal name, but that's not your original handle, is it?
It is. It is, in fact, it's my original handle. I think someone said I was
Harry.
Harry. It was never Harry. It was always Walter.
Okay. I was sort of hoping it was Dirty Harry, but
not really.
No, not even that. Harry. Yeah, that's a long time ago. And Marcus, you are not in a position to have an opinion on that. All right.
Thanks.
So let's take this from the very beginning. You started out really early, so in 1986 you were in Megasoft, and you had a number of good friends in the neighborhood. Tell us about Megasoft.
Well, it just started with a school friend, Mr. Lee. Ralph is not here,
yeah.
But it basically started with him. We started doing some demos, cracking a few games, which ended that we joined Warriors of Darkness a while later. It was a fun time, but we split with them, and Ralph came up with the idea to start with a new group, 7-Eleven.
Right. So we're now already in 1988, where you started 7-Eleven, and that was from the ashes of Warriors of Darkness. And you had a number of other rather known guys in 7-Eleven. Antitrack was there, right?
Antitrack, almost the whole team of Cosmos joined.
Yeah.
They left a little bit later, but we were like 10 guys running 7-Eleven.
Right. Well, to me, Cosmos is mainly like a demo group. For me, they were never really a cracking group, but I guess I'm wrong there. So if Antitrack was in the group, I'm sure they did crack. So.
They didn't crack, but they did a lot of almost all the intros,
yeah.
and demos were done by them.
Right, and one of the other events we actually participated in together was the Ikaris Argon Party in 1989, and we are seeing the legendary four-screen intro there that you released.
Yeah.
Legendary one. When moving a bit forward, we're now into 1989, and double density became a thing. Could we swap to the double density demo now? I shouldn't break this because I saw there was a Fairlight grid, so you could freeze the picture on that. But yes.
There's some sound, in fact.
Do you hear it? Oh yeah, there is music. Yeah, super, super nice. So code here by Mr. Cursor, graphics by Example, and music by Marcus Schneider, who I know is in the room, right?
Where's Marcus?
Great work, Marcus. So tell us a bit about this, and tell us the advent of double density here.
Well, it started all with, I was working for Magic Disc and Game On,
Yeah.
and we were looking for programmers to do some more professional games.
Yeah.
And that's why we started with Double Density as a label of Magic Disc. And well, Ivo Herzeg, Mr. Cursor, was big part of all the Magic Disc and stuff. And he did this demo. And that's how we found got in touch with a lot of programmers. Many of the guys are here. And I'm very thankful for the time and for the contribution.
Yeah. And I mean, this demo was basically a marketing thing for Double Density to kind of attract people to send in their stuff.
Right. It was never meant to be a company to sell titles.
Yeah.
It was just to get some more professional games for Magic Disc, Game On, Golden Disc.
So let's jump back a little bit here. So you went to the Madonna Cracking Group party, and what happened there? We have a few things that really happened, because that is, first of all, it's sort of the advent of double density, or the seed was planted there. But another thing happened there as well.
Well, when we came to that party in Mal, I think it was '88, we saw the place was crowded with police, and we tried to get away with the car, but at the end we were, yeah.
You were busted, right?
You were busted.
Yeah. Trying to drive away from the police.
Trying to drive away is
from a
not a
copy
good
party.
idea anyway. So they took our personal data. They didn't get my address book because I put it in my trousers. Was lucky. But that was the day when it all started with the more or less legal career. We met with with Christian Geltenpoth.
Yeah.
At the time, the manager for Magic Disc, and he was searching for. He knew my name. He was searching for someone to contribute to the Magic Disc. And a couple of weeks later, I was a freelancer for Magic Disc, and like half a year later, I was a full employee.
So tell about Magic Disc. What was it? I mean, normally you would have, in many other countries, you would have a magazine that had like a cover disc or something, but this was sort of a cover disc without the magazine, wasn't it?
This was a cover disc without paper.
Yeah.
Just a cover with a full disc. It was mainly in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and it was a menu system with some reviews, game reviews, text. And a lot of games and tools from the scene.
Yeah. Right, and do tell, what is the relation between CP Verlag and Computec Verlag and Double Density? Which is which, and how do they relate?
CP Verlag was for the C64 part. Yeah. Computech was for Amiga, PC, Atari ST, and Double Density was for between everything.
Okay, so that was sort of your marketing label
It
for...
was only a marketing label.
And you became a regular employee in like 1990, and so that was what you did.
Yeah.
You gathered stuff for Magic Disc.
Yeah.
For me, it's absolutely incredible that you had a market that was big enough to attract people to send in their stuff and people to subscribe to that and be ready to pay for that.
Well,
Yeah,
we had
impressive.
a lot of sales, as I said, throughout the German-speaking region, and at the end of '92, I think, they started selling Amiga with a disc on in the UK. It failed at the end, but it sold.
Yeah. And I mean, for us, not being natively German-speaking, I'm also really amazed that you had like a market that was big enough to sustain such a product. Most of the other countries would need basically English-speaking product because that was sort of, you could sell that globally, but Germany, you could only sell in the German-speaking part of the world. And to be honest, it's not that big. So.
Well, it was big enough to have good sales.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you had...
About 40, 50,000 per month.
That's a lot. So, and you referenced Mr. Cursor, Ivo, here before. He helped you a lot with a bit of this, right?
He helped a lot. It was a good friend before, during the 7-Eleven time, and he came up with the idea of a menu system. So I really it was easy to create a new magazine, a new issue every month, because I just had this menu system, could finish everything. He made that master disc that was shipped to Nuremberg, and they just put it in the copy machines.
And Nuremberg was the head office, and that's where they had the duplication and stuff, I guess, as well. So, and Magic Disc was the main product, but the Golden Disc, what was that then?
Gold Disc was just for the special games, which was meant to release the high quality games we got from Double Density.
Was that a special subscription, or did you buy it separately, or?
What do you mean?
If you were a consumer and you wanted to get access, no, I mean, Magic Disc, I had a subscription, right? So I got the number.
It was on a subscription. It was a subscription, or you could buy it in a newspaper store.
Okay.
Magic Disc, Game On, Gold Disc.
And Game On, what was Game On then?
Games only.
Games only.
Magic Disc was basically some tools and stuff, but Game On was only for games.
Right. I do have a, yeah.
The Magic Disc was the main product. Yeah. With the highest sales, yeah.
I do have a special note here that I would like you to explore on, and that is Mr. Cursor and his oxygen cylinder. What is that?
One day I was going to his place. He's like half an hour to go in Nuremberg, in Heidelberg, and I was going to his room, and he was sitting there with an oxygen cylinder. I was scared, but that was when he worked under pressure.
Yeah.
That was how he worked, with an oxygen cylinder. And that's probably how he found how to do Timex.
That's why I never defeated Timex, because I didn't have any oxygen cylinders, I guess. So.
That's the solution.
Right.
Guys, think about it.
So if you look at the number of releases, there are like 30 plus games. And to be honest, I think some of them are tagged a bit wrong. Some of them are tagged with you as a producer, some with Double Density, and some with CP Verlag, and some with Computech. So I think Lemon Amiga and Lemon 64 should revise their data a bit, because it's sort of the same thing, right?
Or ask me to revise this.
Walter is ready to support you in updating the data. All right. So I have a note of like 30 plus games for the C64. Any favorite amongst those?
Don't ask me.
Ah, okay.
They were all good.
You never played the game, right?
I played some, but not me alone.
And Guardian's Tomb, I think it was,
Guardian's Tomb,
with Timex 3. That was nearly impossible to crack.
I don't know. I was not on the illegal side.
Any longer? Yeah. So, and Amiga, 5 games. I have something referenced on Amigo. No, it has to be on Amiga, right? And you also did stuff on Atari.
We tried to find out if there's a market for Atari.
Yeah.
It failed.
Yeah.
We stopped with Atari just with one test issue because there were no sales, basically.
Yeah. We had the same in Sweden. Yeah. So you had like Commodore machines and or Commodore magazines, and they had an annex for Atari ST, but it drove the Commodore computing segment mad that they had Atari in there, and it wasn't justified. They didn't have enough market.
It didn't work out.
All right. So from 93 to 95, you bundled with Game On. What happened then? What happened?
Well, the sales were going down
Yeah.
On the C64 market, so we bundled the magazines,
Yeah.
and it was clear that it's gonna end.
Yeah.
This area.
And that was the C64 stuff you bundled with Game On. And then the PC side you bundled with Playtime.
Yeah.
And then it became basically like a normal magazine with one of those cover discs.
Playtime was a normal magazine, printed magazine,
Yeah.
with just add-on with a disc with games and tools.
And I do have here that you referenced before that the peak was around 80,000 issues.
All sales together,
Yeah.
Amiga, PC.
That's still good. That's absolutely good.
That's
Congratulations for a work well done. And then 95 to 96, Magic Disc Classics. What is that?
That was when I was out of Computech. The whole company was sold to Magna Media,
Yeah.
and they bundled with a 64 magazine.
Yeah. Right. So, and for those of you who don't know it, 64 or 64 is the sort of the leading paper magazine.
It was a paper magazine, yeah.
Great one, yeah. I really hated my poor German when I saw it because I understood I really would have wanted to read it, but I couldn't. So in '96, Magna Media bought CP Verlag, and that was the entire thing, the CP Verlag and Computech and all of it, right?
They merged everything to Magna Media.
Yeah. Was that just about the time where you left this,
Yeah,
or?
correct.
Okay, so that's part of that. And you formed your own gaming company.
Started my own gaming company out of some of you guys.
Yeah.
And a few years later, I heard that you were contributing to one of the games, Sword of Honor.
We are getting. So the company was Prestige, and you were still sort of selling your stuff to Magic Disc and Double Density.
We did some games for Double Density, for the Gold Disc, Amigo, and we tried to sell just as a normal software company, with not so much success.
So, being a lawyer, I'm sort of curious. Double Density, is that your brand, or is it owned by CP Verlag?
CP Verlag.
CP Verlag. So you couldn't continue using it?
I couldn't continue.
That's a bit of a bummer. So I have here. So this is the game Sword of Honor, and this is where you had a number of platforms where you did that, right?
Yeah, the Sword of Honor was done by a Swedish team,
Yeah.
Dynafil Systems, and as I said, a few years later I heard you were contributing the loader for the 64 version.
I did the loader for the C64 version. It works fine on 1541, 1571, and also 1581. I've never seen any version of the game, so this is the first copy I've seen. It's a PC CD one. If we look at the other games, so Catchem and Dofus, that's also games you released. But then you were also commissioning games. You had companies wanting games branded under their brand.
Yeah, with some for Kingsoft, we did some branded games. Locomotion, someone may heard, or
Langenese?
Locomotion.
So the ice cream company Langenese?
No, that was the advertisement games.
Yeah, okay.
Langnese ice cream company, I think in... yeah? Okay.
And you did something for German Army as well, Heli Rescue.
Yeah, they came with an idea to get some people to subscribe for the German Army, and they came up with the idea for a game where you rescue people with a helicopter.
Okay, so we want more people in the German Army. Let's release a Commodore 64 game. That's
why
a bit of a
not?
surprise. But
Why, I don't have the numbers, how many people subscribed or joined the German Army.
now it will be more smart, because now we need cyber soldiers. Back then there wasn't really
That's
any
how it
cyber
started,
soldiers.
yeah.
And Knorr, for me that's soup.
That's soup.
Soup game.
That's a soup. It's not a soup game, but it was just for their advertisement.
And you did Sony Walkman game as well.
Yeah, when Sony came out with a Walkman, I put a team together to do a game for them.
Great. And basically you left the gaming industry in '97, so you are now Connexco.
Yeah.
So, and what does that company do?
A system house doing network management for customers.
Anything people are really ready to pay for, related to IT, basically.
Right. Yeah. No games, nothing. I'm out of that business. Just for fun here.
Yeah. Super. So, and I'd like to conclude this with throwing out a number of names that I picked up during sort of reading about you and reading all the previous interviews and the talk we had. So let's start with Mr. Cursor. What is sort of his role in your professional career around C64?
Wow. Great coder, great friend. Unfortunately, I don't have any contact with him anymore. When he started to join Crytek, we lost contact. So if you hear me,
yeah, Ivo, I'm interested to interview you on Fairlight TV as well. Just get in contact. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, and then there is this hairy guy, Markus Widerstein. What about him?
Wow. He's here.
Yes.
He's a good friend, like an old friend. In fact, a very old friend. Together with the other guys from Radwar.
Yeah. Great. I find him a bit too young because he's already a week younger than I am. So I'm playing with kids and I'm playing with him. So, so Hannes Sommer. One of the guys, Hannes Sommer.
Hannes Sommer. He was doing a lot of games for Magic Disc, Game On. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing today. Maybe you know. They
had I should have researched this better, but as far as I know, they had a game that was sort of well developed, but not really finalized. But eventually now, like half a year ago, Yascat eventually convinced them to actually conclude it after like 30 years.
The game with a 30 years development.
Yeah. I think I cracked Nibbly 93, which is a Hannes Sommer game.
Yeah.
So Alexander Antitrack.
Yeah.
One of the cracking friends from 7-Eleven days. Any contact with him today?
Nope.
No. Let's beta skip over that. Okay, yeah, let's do that. One of the guys you actually mentioned in an interview is Alain the Hobbit.
Where's Alain? Hi, my friend.
One of the real legends. There is nothing more to add. It's just legendary. Jens Hultgren, Dynafield Systems in Malmö.
The guy from Dynafield Systems who did Sword of Honor. You know him?
Yeah, I do.
He was doing games for Magic Disc as well, and he came very often. He came to Germany to pick up his check, basically. I don't know why, because maybe he loved to travel. Mm-hmm. He came by train from Sweden to Frankfurt. We met, and he was returning like an hour later.
And the check was basically big enough to cover the train ride back and forth, I guess.
Obviously, yeah.
Super. Yeah, and then another dude, Willy Becker.
Willy Becker.
What do you have to say about him?
Only good things. Good friend. Very nice guy.
Yeah, so old and so much hair. How does he do it?
He got all my hair.
So, Steve Coops. And some controversial games. Could we elaborate on that?
First of all, rest in peace.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about that. People who are not bad about people who aren't here anymore. But you did have a bit of an issue with a few of his products.
We had a bit of issues because he was doing some adventure games, text-based adventures, with some nasty answers with text. We didn't find out before we released the games. At the end, we got calls from parents who played the games or saw the text.
Parents playing adventure games. Gamers don't play adventure games.
Maybe because kids told their parents, "Look at this, what comes up here." It was a really big problem because I got a call from the manager from CP Verlag, and we had some serious talks.
Yeah, I see the issue.
That's why I lost all my hair.
Sebastian Broghammer.
Sebastian, a very good friend, very nice guy. He did. He was doing codes for the demos for 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And he was
Bike Rider, I should say, as well.
Yeah, he was the team partner of Steve Coops for the games.
Okay, super. Dario Krobat.
Same. He did some games. Marcus knows him, Gotcha. And he did also some games for Magic Disc, I think. There were so many.
Yeah. So we are naming a number of the key contributors to the Magic Disc content here. So that's sort of where we are. Jens Christian Hus, JCH, one of the legendary musicians. He was also doing a lot of the music stuff for you, right?
Yeah.
Stefan Hartwig.
Same. Many games. I think I never met him in person. I'm not sure. Probably digital marketing with Markus Widerstein.
Yeah. It's really interesting. So many friends you have. How few times you actually met them, and you're still considering them really close friends. I still cannot explain this to my wife, how that could be.
Because they did so much for all of us.
Yeah.
They helped to develop our friendship.
Yeah.
And to help us where we are right now.
Yeah. We had this talk before, earlier today, the friends with computers and computer friends. You start out with computer friends, you have a common interest, and that is the computer, but eventually you can sort of throw away the computer and you can bond over other things, like bacon.
Like bacon.
And Markus Schneider is also one of the guys we need to mention. He was already cheered at, but let's. Markus also did a lot of good music for you, right?
Did a lot of good music for his own games, for Magic Disc, for other projects. So very good.
Super. Thomas and Michael Detert.
Same here. Both are not here, unfortunately, but they're good friends. Really did some awesome stuff for many of our demos, games, Magic Disc, everything. Example.
Yes.
Example.
And then we have Super Mario Van Zeist.
Where is Mario?
Yeah. I only met him in 1989, and I haven't met him since, but one of the really skilled coders.
I met him last time at the barbecue at Genau.
So, Walter, that's actually my sort of lame questions. I ran out of questions. Is there any particular game you would like to mention? Anything you're most proud of in the product? And don't say Sword of Honor, please.
I'm not saying Sword of Honor. There were so many. You got all the pictures here.
Take that. Do you need the light?
No.
I don't have any glasses to lend you, so...
I don't need glasses.
I would also be blind with glasses, so they wouldn't make any difference.
Baby Jack.
I guess who had the first release on that? Yeah.
Brubaker was exactly the title by Steve Cobbs.
Okay.
Peter Parker. Yeah. No Mercy.
That was a super game by the super coders and excellent graphicians.
Guardian Tom, Gilded Age.
No
Marcus
Mercy
Schneider.
was Operation Wolf clone by the two guys from Fairlight. So Gollum did the code and Sarge did the graphics. Yeah, Walter.
Another World by...
I will not put you to the agony of looking through all of these games.
No.
Thank you so much, Walter, for everything you have done for the C64 community by providing so many games that we had so much pleasure cracking. And okay.
Many, many thanks. Because in Red Sector, we were having, every member was having an abonnement of Magic Disc, Game On, Golden Disc, whatever we could get. And yeah, but all members had one. I had one.
So thank you very much. Thank you much for all of you who ever contributed in any way for the magazines. It was very special and it still is. Thanks for all.
It was only me having the night shift, coming home in the morning and having a Magic Disc in the disc box. And finding a golden disc with a cracked Pirates version from PSI. Why is that?
Thank you.
We are doing that with Zap 64 now. Walter, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Walter, I love you nearly as much as I love bacon.
Thanks for this.
That was a bit closer. That was Walter of 7-Eleven interviewed by Bacchus of Fairlight and Fairlight TV. So, we are gonna go into hibernation mode for a bit. There is a food break coming up over here at 6, which we won't stream. It's not in this building, there's nothing to see. And then there will be the demo compo at 8:30 according to the schedule. Stream will stay on, we'll play some music, we'll play the hall, we won't leave you alone. You can entertain yourself in the chat if you would like to. It is all good and stuff. And that's it for me for this block. I'm gonna round up here and 3 hours for demos bit in. Yes, absolutely, this is absolutely correct. Excellent counting. So, is there anything else I should mention? Yeah, if you want to support all these streams here, first of all, Scenesat.com, there's a donation button, which you are extremely free to use. It goes to software licenses, hardware, bandwidth costs, etc. If you want to do some of the hardware support here, because we have video encoders, video switchers, stream decks, microphones, too many cables. Oh, that's a segue. So anyway, consolekabels.be behind here are supplying most of this thing in hardware and stuff. So if you need something for your 64, Amiga, Atari, Sega, Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, Sony PlayStation, HDMI stuff, 2 TVs which no longer have SCART because, you know, nobody uses it anymore except us. Again, then, you know, check them out. There's a demo scene friendly, demo scene run by yours truly, actually. So there. Meanwhile, Anonym, thanks also for uploading on YouTube. There's a link there that the 4K is available on YouTube. is still processing. If you don't want to wait for that, the Scenesat video section also has a rewind scroll back feature that you can use. It is all the information is out there, everything is out there. It's like yay technology. It's amazing how just some, completely old man who tinker with old computers get all of this stuff together. That's totally awesome. Righty, Coco Penguin, thank you. I am crazy. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. Anyway, it gives me a good view of the hall. I can see the big screen in front of me, the compo machine next to me, random organizers walking around behind me and looking at my stuff that they shouldn't be doing, but anyway, it's all good. Right. Okay, that's it. Hall view, music, and we will see each other again for the demo compo. Yes, because there will be a demo compo. Trust me. Good. Ta-ta.
The Gem Podcast.